هو بيتي اتحرقت وما في دلنا بدون حاجة يعني ما عندنا حاجة بناكله ولا بنشرب ولا عندنا حاجة نرد فوقه ولا بنتغطى فوقه.
Fatahia Mohammed Adam is a Sudanese refugee who first fled war in 2023 and then lost everything after an accidental fire ripped through this refugee camp along the Chad-Sudan border. HIAS, a refugee advocacy NGO that was poised to help her with emergency services, couldn't after the U.S. government suspended its work in massive foreign aid cuts announced in January. We traveled to the remote Abu Dangi camp in Chad, where many of the resources for tens of thousands of refugees, mostly women and children, have come to a sudden halt.
كان بيقدم مواد غذائية يعني كافية وثاني بدي معوى كافية يقدم لنا خدمات عشان أطفال يعني يتعلموا يمشي يتاجر الأمهات برضه يعني ما يعانوا يتاجروا كده عشان.
HIAS had been providing refugees with critical support, and while its work suspension was lifted in early March, it remains unclear which of its programs will continue to be funded and for how long.
These are people who left behind everything while fleeing from the war in their country, and they are here depending only on humanitarian donors.
One woman who asked us to hide her identity for fear of retribution told us how HIAS helped intervene after a domestic violence incident with her husband.
ما عملت عاقل ولا كده ما في حتى عشان كده ما سويت خلاص قام دكان خلاص قبل اليوم كان بحث الأنف مع ناس الحلال الجينا اللي جينا من المجاورة ده تمشي ذاته تتعرض بدل أحيان تتعرض للأنف في الخلا برضه المهم ما قاعدين نمشي ولا كده.
She still lives here with her husband and toddler and had been receiving family counseling from the NGO, which has had to freeze worker salaries and sessions for her and for other victims of gender-based violence.
قال أي زول لو حصل له الأنف في زي مثلا تمشي مكتب حياس يحل لك مشكلتك وكده.
Almost everywhere in the Abu Dangi camp, we came across stories of people who rely heavily on U.S. foreign aid on a daily basis. Schools like this one, run by Jesuit Refugee Services, were a lifeline for more than 32,000 students like Kausar Mohammed Yaqub before it abruptly had to close its doors in January.
نعم بعد ما المدرسة وقفت خلاص بعد الطلاب إنه خلاص قالوا ما قادرين يقرؤوا تاني خلاص قاعدين هنا كبنات وحدين يعني قاعدين في بيوتهم يعني بدون أي عمل وقاعدين يعني ساكتين كان صافرة يعني مش لليبيا بيشتغلوا على المال.
A month later, some of its teachers returned to volunteer or work for minimum pay, but more than half of the students are now gone, and it's unclear how much longer the school will be able to keep its doors open.
يعني حتى لو كان وقفوا المساعدة يعني بكون يعني صعب شديد والناس يعني خلاص ما بفتكروا يعني خلاص بتعلموا أو يعني بدر بحقق واحد حلمه يعني أمنيتي كده دايرة أقرأ الطب. دكتورة نعم.
As of March, the Trump administration has eliminated 83% of USAID programs and 40% of State Department grants, citing widespread waste and claiming they do not serve U.S. interests. The cuts total tens of billions in overall U.S. assistance worldwide.
We've lost quite a good number of our staff, so we are still waiting for the final decision of the U.S. government to see if we will permanently separate with this staff or we will call them back to continue their activities.
نتمنى من الله يرجع أمريكا يعني كده يساعد إذا كده عايزين نتمنى عشان يرجع ونعيش في الأمان وكده يعني وعايزين مساعدة بجد يعني نفس اللي كان في الحرب ده كن قاعد نهز